Hey, we've all been there. We're in the groove, racing like demons, and then this happens. Pick yourself up, get back in your motion sim, and keep on driving. Hey, and welcome to my channel. I am Dr. ADHD. Well, this is the 1967 F1 Legends Racing Pack, available for rFactor 2. And we're racing on the historic 1966 Spa circuit. Racing with the Dr. ADHD 4 Degree of Freedom Motion Simulator platform. My channel is all about how to build 3 and 4 Degree of Freedom Motion Simulator platforms. On my channel, my tutorials will take you through step by step everything you need to learn to build your own motion simulator, from material selection, fabrication, the right electronics and motors to use, and the right software to use, and how to set this all up so you too can enjoy motion and take your racing simulator experience to the next level. If you enjoy my content, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notifications bell so when new content is on my channel, you'll know it's there and you can check it out. Well, it's pretty hard to beat the physics in rFactor 2. They are sensational, without a doubt. And this 1966 rendition of Spa, creators of this have done an amazing job on their road meshing. This is on par with laser scan tracks that I have used with rFactor 2. And this F1 1967 Legends Racing Pack mod, the physics in this are absolutely sensational. Amongst the best physics that I have experienced with my motion simulator and my direct drive wheelbase of any cars that I've raced in any platform that I've raced on. Now, we've all spent our fair share of time in Assetto Corsa because that's where some of the great historic mods are. And the Assetto Corsa historic F1 mod is good, but this new rFactor 2 F1 historic mod, in my opinion, beats it hands down. The sheer physics, the tyre physics, the physics in the car themselves, the body roll, the surge, it is just amazing. You really have to drive these model cars in rFactor 2 to understand what I'm talking about. It's so great to be able to now access this car mod for rFactor 2 because, in my opinion, rFactor 2 has far superior physics all round than Assetto Corsa to begin with. Now, that's a fairly subjective statement, I guess, in a lot of ways, but I can base this on the fact that I actually have a motion simulator and direct drive wheelbase to test physics of cars and tracks in the racing platforms available to us. So I can only talk from my own personal experience using these tools I have at hand to test car physics and road meshing in the first instance. And of course, once you have tasted the fruit of motion, there is never any going back. It doesn't matter how fancy your static rig is, it'll never be the same as actually racing with motion. Especially if you do your homework and build your own high-end industrial grade motion sim using high-end electronics and high-end software. You also need to spend the time tweaking the software just like you would with your force feedback steering wheel, but the rewards are great and well worth the time, which doesn't really take that long, just takes a bit of patience and a little bit of perseverance, but there's tools available at hand to be able to make your life easier doing all this stuff in the first place. Now, I'm very fortunate to have some reasonable racing sim peripherals to run with my motion sim, and that's stuff that I have purchased over time and added to my sim, but by no means is this compulsory. I started off just using a G27 force feedback steering wheel with the G27 pedals, and in fact I still have these peripherals just in case any of my newer peripherals go pear-shaped. I used them for a long time. I was still working when I changed them out for some of the better stuff, the direct drive steering wheel. But if I ever needed to use them again, I'd be more than happy to use them again. They're perfectly fine and they work fine with a motion simulator. Quite a bit of imagination would have to have been used to recreate this rendition of 1966 Spa, as nobody was running around with laser scanners back in 1966. So you've got to take your hats off to these fellas with the way that they've been able to imagine and recreate this road surface, more than likely from the geographical information and historical documents that they were able to get their hands on about the early 60s racing at Spa. This track is rough as hell, and you can see that firsthand as you watch my motion simulator, especially the heave, the bumpiness in the road, and this reflects directly with my Fanatec direct drive steering wheel base as well. You can see some great surge from my trolley rail axis surge system in my motion sim come into play here anytime we're braking or accelerating. And as always, I'll include a link for these cars and for this track in the description. Now, I've had a few questions recently on my channel from people interested in building this motion simulator platform. And some of those people have been asking about the sheer amount of motion available in the Dr. ADHD 4 degree of freedom motion platform, because they see the amount of motion available in my sim, but they want to focus more on modern F1 cars with modern F1 tracks. And my response is simple. Simply bring down your degrees of force in Game Engine in Sim Tools. And I will point out also that if you've spent the time and done things the right way around, done a proper tuning center capture of the physics of your car and the road mesh of the track that you're on, using Sim Tools Tuning Center, your motion sim should only reflect the motion that has been captured by the car physics and the road meshing when you did your tuning center capture. So then you don't get as much movement in the motion simulator to begin with. But I would also state that the reason I built my motion sim in the first place is because I am an absolute lover of historic content, historic racetracks, historic cars, anything basically from the 30s to the 70s. That's where it was a real challenge to actually have to drive a car. You didn't have a computer controlled car that almost drove itself on super smooth, super flat surfaces. This is why I built a motion sim, because driving on historic tracks with historic cars is fun. It's heaps of fun. Learning to use a H-pattern shifter, learning to heel and toe, it all goes hand in hand with running a motion simulator platform. So you could say that perhaps people that really enjoy historic race content may get more out of a motion simulator than people who want to play modern F1 cars and F1 tracks. But you are still going to get motion driving modern F1 cars and racing on modern F1 tracks. It's just not going to be as much. So all you need to do, as said before, is tweak your motion sim software. And this is simply done with your degrees of force in Game Engine and then your overall intensity level in Game Manager. All of this stuff and how to use all of this with a motion simulator is all on my channel in step-by-step tutorials. As always, this has been a bucket load of fun bringing this to you. Thanks for tuning in. Until I see you guys in the next video, you stay safe, you stay healthy, and you take it easy out there.